Today we are going to discuss on how our Indian Constitution is made. That is, making of Indian Constitution and the leaders who played a vital role in this making with essential data and adequate dates. First of all, what is Constitution? Constitution decides the basic structure of the entire nation. In such a manner, India possesses its own set of constitution known as the Indian Constitution. Before independence, we were under the Act of British Indian Government. Later, which our leaders requested the British government for framing our very own Indian Constitution. First, let's look into the leaders who played vital role in framing this structure. In 1934, Mr. M.N. Roy, who was the founder of Indian Communist Party, was the very first person who requested British government to form our Indian Constitution, and then in 1935 the same demand was made by Indian National Congress. Later in 1938 Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru demanded for a constitution with a specific key that the Constitution of Free India should be made without any interference by a Constituent Assembly elected on the basis of adult franchise. After these demands, first acceptance of British was on August offer 1940. According to this offer, they ensured that they will make a constitution for India. And then in 1942, Cripps mission. Sir Stafford Cripps assured that our constitution will be made by both Indian and British people. He also ensured that the government will form a mission called the Cabinet Mission, which will form a constituent assembly that will be responsible for framing of the basic laws of our country. So in 1946, Cabinet Mission from England came to India, which had Mr. Pethick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps, and Mr. A.V. Alexander. These above mentioned people were responsible for framing body of Constituent Assembly, which comprised of leaders from India. Once again, I would like to repeat this. Cabinet Mission held the complete power on how the Constituent Assembly should be formed and how the members of the Constituent Assembly should be elected and would be presented. This group of Constituent Assembly will possess a total number of 389 members. During 1946, India was divided into 11 British Indian states, 552 princely states and 4 chief commission provinces, that is Delhi, Ajmer, Coorg and Balochistan. These chief commission provinces was controlled by British Indian Army. So this is how India was separated within itself. Let's look into the criteria for members to be presented at the Indian Constituent Assembly decided by Cabinet Mission. First rule is the proportionality representation method, in which one representative is selected for 10 lakhs peoples. So the total number of persons in Constituent Assembly were 389. From this, we might get to know that approximately at the time of 1946, Indian population was 39 crores and 90 lakhs. Second rule was community basis, in which people were selected based on their community. This community comprised of Muslim, Sikhs and general, which had Hindus, Christians and other minorities. Third rule was partially nominated method, in which 93 members from princely states were directly nominated into the Constituent Assembly without any type of voting system. Fourth rule was partly elected. In this, 292 members from British Indian states were appointed based on elections. Fifth condition was indirect election, which was done by the voting of MLAs of Legislative Assembly of British Indian states, and sixth one is single transferable vote. These were the 6 conditions the members of the Constituent Assembly. To sum up, out of 389 members, 93 members from princely states, 292 members from British Indian states, that is voted by MLAs, and then 4 members from Chief Commission provinces, which was directly appointed by the government. Among these 292 members, 208 members were from Congress and 73 members from Muslim League and remaining 15 members from other category. Now let's look into the working part of Constituent Assembly. The very first meeting of Constituent Assembly held on 1946 December 9. In this meeting, first temporary president of Indian Constituent Assembly was Mr. Sachidanandam Sinha. He was elected for this post because he was the oldest member in the assembly. It was usually French practice and hence he became the president. In the very first meeting of Constituent Assembly, 93 members from princely states and 73 members from Muslim League boycotted the meeting because they were under the concept of bi-nation, that is, they wanted Pakistan to be separated from India. So only 211 members only participated in the assembly meeting. And then in December 11, 1946, second meeting of Indian Constituent Assembly was held, in which Mr. Rajendra Prasad became the permanent president of Indian Constituent Assembly. He was assisted by two vice presidents, namely Sir H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamachari. The third meeting of Constituent Assembly was held on December 13, 1946, where a very important note was put forwarded by Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru, known as the Objective Resolution. So, there might be a question on what is this Objective Resolution. This is nothing but a proposal for a resolution that convey the objective of Indian Constitution, which say how the nation will function henceforth and what the Constitution does to every individual citizen of India. We all know about Preamble, which is the index of Indian Constitution. This preamble was built only on the basis of Objective Resolution. In January 22, 1947, Objective Resolution was adopted in Indian Constituent Assembly. In 1947, British announced June 3rd Plan by Viceroy of India, Lord Mountbatten, in which he mentions that he has accepted Muhammad Jinnah Point and Pakistan will be separated from India. After this announcement, people who have boycotted the first meeting of Indian Constituent Assembly joined the assembly and worked on it. In July 1947, Independence Act was passed by the British Parliament. August 15, 1947, India got independence, and August 14, Pakistan was separated from India. So now let's look at how this Constituent Assembly changed after the independence. Out of 389 members, 90 members went along with the Pakistan's Constituent Assembly. Now India has 299 members in the Constituent Assembly. Among them, 229 were from Indian states and 70 members were from princely states. After independence, our Indian Constituent Assembly became a sovereign body. And also in November 17, 1947, Constituent Assembly became the legislative body, which was assigned to have two functions. Number one, to make constitution for India, and number two, Constituent Assembly will also work as legislative body. When the Constituent Assembly functions to make constitution, it is headed by Mr. Rajendra Prasad. When the Constituent Assembly functions as legislative body, it was headed over by Mr. G.V. Maulankar, who was the first chairperson of India. Some of the other functions of Constituent Assemblies were: in July 22, 1947, our Indian national flag was adopted. In January 24, 1950, both national anthem and national song were adopted by our Constituent Assembly. And on January 26, 1950, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the first president of India. In May 1949, India joined as a member of Commonwealth. So the last meeting of the Constituent Assembly was held on January 24, 1950, after which our Constituent Assembly became Provisional Parliament till 1952 April 17. The total tenure of making of Indian Constitution is 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Our Constituent Assembly accepted the Constitution on November 26, 1949, which is known as the Constitutional Day of India. 26 January 1950, our Constitution came into force, which is known as our Republic Day. Our Constitution is derived from 60 countries and with a total expenditure of 64 lakhs. For making the Indian Constitution, our Constitution Assembly had 8 major and 13 minor committees. The 8 major committees included Union Powers Committee, headed by Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru. This committee decides the powers of Union government. Second is the Union Constitutional Committee, which was also headed by Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, which decides the constitutional powers of the government. Thirdly, there is a Provincial Constitutional Committee, headed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, decides the power of provincial states. And then the most important committee known as the Drafting Committee, headed by Mr. B.R. Ambedkar. The major role of this committee is to verify the report of all other committees, and this drafting committee was responsible of submitting the final report to the Constituent Assembly. And then is the Fundamental Rights Committee, which was headed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And then there is Rules and Procedures Committee, headed by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And then States Committee deals with the princely states, headed by Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru. And then Steering Committee, headed by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And their important role is to coordinate with all other committees in the regular pattern. 13 minor committees are Finance and Staff Committee, Dr. Rajendra Prasad; Credential Committee, Alladi Krishna Swamy Iyer; House Committee, Patabi Sithamaraiah; Order of Business Committee, Dr. K. M. Munshi; Ada Committee on the National Flag, Dr. Rajendra Prasad; Commission on the Functions of Constitution Assembly, G. V. Mavlankar; Ada Committee on Supreme Court, S. Varadachari; Committee on Chief Commissioner Provinces, Patabi Sitharamaiah; Export Committee, Financial Provinces of the Union Constitution, Nalini Ranjan Sarkar; Linguistic Provision Commission, S. K. Dar; Special Committee to examine the Draft Constitution, Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru; Press Gallery Commission, Usha Nath Sin; Ada Committee on Citizenship, S. Varadachari, are the minor committees. In all this above mentioned committee, the drafting committee was considered to be more important. This drafting committee had a total of 7 members in it, with B.R. Ambedkar as the chairperson, which was formed on August 27, 1947. The members of this committee were Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Gopal Swamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishna Swamy Iyer, Dr. K. M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, N. Madhavrao, later replaced by B.L. Mittal, and T.T. Krishnamachari, replaced by D.P. Kaitan. Once they have completed their responsibility of drafting the constitution, the first trial of shift was submitted on 1948 February. So, for nearly 8 months being kept in the public view for their opinion. After these 8 months, next sitting has been assessed. October 1948, there were 7,653 amendments were proposed, among which Constituent Assembly has accepted 2,473 amendments. So this is how our constitution was made. Dr. Ambedkar is known as the father of Indian Constitution. He was the first law minister and the chief architect of Indian Constitution. Our constitution is accepted by Constituent Assembly on 26/1949, known as the Indian Constitutional Day. Among 299 members of the Constituent Assembly, 288 members' signatures were done, and our constitution came into force by Constituent Assembly. Our constitution consists of 395 particles, 8 schedules and 22 parts and 1 preamble at the time of making. Whereas now it is nearly 465 articles, 12 schedules and 25 parts. Our Constituent Assembly have faced some criticism. So what are these criticisms? First, it is not a representative body. Then it is not a sovereign body. And then it is time consuming. This criticism was made by Nazir Ahmed. He criticized drafting committee as drifting committee, and then dominated by Congress, lawyers, politicians and Hindus, and dominated by one committee, Churchill, England. Some of important facts of Constituent Assembly are: our constitution symbol is elephant, Legal advisor of our Constitution Assembly is Mr. B.N. Rao, who is a lawyer. Secretary of our Constituent Assembly is Mr. H.V.R. Iyengar. Chief draftsman of our Constituent Assembly is Mr. S.N. Mukherjee. Our constitution were handwritten in two languages, one in English and other is Hindi. In English, it was written by Prem Bihari Naren Raisata and Hindi by Vasant Krishan Vaidya. Then the Decretas of Indian Constitution book in English was Ram Manohar Sinha and by Hindi it was by Mr. Nandlal Bose. And this is how our constitution was made. Kindly subscribe our channel Arivum Thola. Post your comments about this video and don't forget to like this video. Thank you.